Hello, it's a first line day and we are now in gate 12. We have shifted out of gate 45 and moved into gate 12. Gate 12 is the gate of standstill and caution, and this is line 1 called the monk. There's a lifetime learning here, and it says withdrawal that can only be maintained with communal support. The 12th gate is the only social mechanism available to the individual. And it is a social mechanism that entails being a stranger of consequence, being able to have an individual or a unique impact and then withdrawing. It's a gate of great caution, and it's very suspicious, as individuals can be. The exaltation, the beauty and harmony possible beyond the reach of temptation, the expression of social withdrawal and its value when supported by others. Gate 12 is part of the incarnation cross of Eden, and the emotional system is the place of temptation. This is where the apple is, this is where sex is, where pleasure and pain are. This is where power is, and it's a great seduction and temptation to the rest of the vehicle. The temptation is actually in committing to trying to explain yourself. Now, the 12th gate, part of individuality, it's a knowing gate. And every time it makes a social contact, it has to be able to explain itself. If you are away from the social power of the solar plexus, if there's no channel activation, then you never have to explain yourself. This can be a very peaceful place to be, which is a good place for a manifesting gate to rest. During that time, you can go through the internal process and allow time for the mutation to bubble up, ready to be expressed. But you have to wait for that right moment of mood. The mood has to be right, the timing has to be right in order for it to be externalized. If you have the 12th gate and you're invited somewhere, but you're not in the mood, and you say you're not in the mood, this has to be respected. It has to be accepted that it is an intrinsic part of your nature to only do what you're in the mood for. This is the communal support that is valuing social withdrawal. And support is big keynote for the tribal circuitry. And this, of course, is the pinnacle of the tribe. We know that first lines speak for the whole hexagram, and this first line is called the monk. This gate is not called standstill for nothing. The monk not doing very much. This is about being isolated. This is one of the 3 gates of aloneness. It's about waiting and being contemplative. It's about restraint until one is in the mood, and then the right timing. Withdrawal can only be maintained with communal support. So in the detriment, we have Simon the stylite, total and often absurd withdrawal. That's the word, absurd withdrawal. An absurd expression of social caution and extreme withdrawal from emotional contact. Simon the stylite, he was a North African monk in the 1st millennium, and he sat on top of a pillar that used to be part of a Roman ruin, and that was his way of being closer to God. He didn't come down for 47 years. Absurd withdrawal, indeed, and it must also have involved some communal support for him to have stayed up there that long. Ra said that people who have this detriment rarely openly or quickly embrace the emotional system, because immediately they do, you have a manifesting channel. And there are 3 manifesting channels, pure manifesting channels. 2 of them are emotional. It's easy for the emotional energy to enter into the world, to enter into manifestation. And these 3 gates that we've been looking at in a row, the 35, the 45, and now the 12, these 3 gates go directly to motors. They have a lot in common with each other. So much about the 12 is about bringing in mutation. If you're not in the mood, you can't bring a mutation. So you won't be in the mood unless you have a mutation to bring. The two things are kind of woven together. And when you're in the right mood, then the timing is correct, and then everything can flow. Mutation for an individual, when you break it down to its simplest level, it's the moment that you can explain an aspect of your knowing that has a mutative value. The moment you can explain your knowing and you are in the mood, that's your opportunity to mutate others and to bring to them a new knowing. That's part of how the whole process works. So the grounding to the gate of standstill and caution is gate 11, the gate of ideas. And the first line is called attunement. It's so important for gate 12 to be attuned to the correct timing, to their own mood. This line of attunement is about being in the right place at the right time. It's connected to the gate of serendipity in that way through abstract circuitry. This line of attunement feels very supportive to the process of the monk. The moon, still in the gate of confusion, gate 64, in the head center. It's moving into its harmonic, gate 47, at 1648, the gate of realization, sorting through those mental images and finding meaning in the past, making sense of it, giving itself time to let the process run, because there's no truth in the now for this abstract Ajna gate. Gate 6 at 4:12 is the last of the moon gates for today. This is the gate of friction and caution. No, not caution, conflict. Caution's in the 12. Friction and conflict. It's based in the solar plexus. This is the wave maker. All of the emotional waves find their source here in gate 6. It's a powerful gate. It can influence the mood of a room just by entering it, or conversely by leaving it. It's also the gate that is responsible biologically for the pH balance in the body. It's to do with barriers. It controls who or what comes in, goes out, what's allowed in. It's emotional. It's in a generator channel. It operates through response and over time. We still have the money line activated, the 2145, Mercury in the North Node. We've just moved out of gate 45, so we're quite familiar with that channel and its qualities. And we do have the whole channel of openness activated during this sun's transit, with Saturn in gate 22 meeting the sun. I talked about this in the overview for gate 12, so just a little brief recap. This is a manifest channel. It can be very impactful as it expresses its emotions and its feelings. Perhaps good idea to inform first in order to minimize the impact or any resistance. It's passionate, it's acoustic, it's emotional, of course, and so it has its wave of hope to pain and back again. And that's our transit for today. That's gate 12, line 1. I will see you again for a Hermity line 2 tomorrow. Until then, go gently. Have a great day, whatever it is you're doing. Any comments, always please leave them below. And if I don't, for some reason, respond to one of your comments, please nudge me, because I do tend to look at them if I can. I tend to look every day, but sometimes I don't always do that and I miss one. So please, if I haven't responded to you, give me a nudge. I'll see you tomorrow.